Hello everyone, welcome to Shelleyz Education Center. Today, if you are new to the channel, you can go through my earlier episodes. Today in our English class, I am going to discuss on important short questions on overall ages of English literature. This is a very important topic for BA CBCS, MA and UGC exams. Hope you all will be there with me till the end of the class. Now look at the topic. Number 1. Who got Nobel Prize for the book The Good Earth? American female novelist Paul Sindestreaker Buck, also known by her Chinese name Cai Zhenqiu. It was published on 2nd March 1931. It is a historical fiction novel. It dramatizes family life in a Chinese village in the early 20th century. It is the first book in her House of Earth trilogy. She was first American woman to win both a Pulitzer and Nobel Prize. The Nobel Prize in Literature 1938 was awarded to her for Buck's rich and truly epic description of peasant life in China, and for her biographical masterpieces. The next question. Who was the author of Andrea del Sarto? Robert Browning. It is a poem published in Browning's 1855 poetry collection, Men and Women. It is a dramatic monologue, and he was famous for his form of poetry. It was about the Italian painter Andrea del Sarto. The next question. Who is the author of Gift of the Magi? O. Henry. It is a short story published in 10th December 1905. The story tells of a young husband and wife and how they deal with the challenge of buying secret Christmas gifts for each other with very little money. In this story, the fact is that they realized they both are deeply in love to each other by sacrificing for each other. The next question. Who is the author of the play Caesar and Cleopatra? It is a 4-act play by George Bernard Shaw. It was written in 1898, published in 1901, and first came on stage in 1906. It is considered his first great play. Next, who was the author of The Time Machine? H.G. Wells. It was his first novel. It is considered one of the earliest works of science fiction and the progenitor of the time travel subgenre. It was his best known work and has never out of print. It is both a literary classic and a foundational text in the history of science fiction. It translated into many languages. Number 6. What does Renaissance mean? Renaissance is a period in European history that followed the Middle Ages and ended in the 17th century. Renaissance is a French word meaning rebirth. During this period, there was a rebirth of classical learning. Many famous artists, writers, philosophers, and scientists lived during this period. Renaissance is defined as a new focus on a subject, especially the arts. Intense interest and learning about classical antiquity was reborn after the Middle Ages, which were largely ignored or forgotten. The next question is, who is the author of The Jungle Book? Rudyard Kipling wrote it in 1894. The story follows the journey of a wild boy called Mowgli, who grew up among wolves without any human contact. This book tells the lesson that we need to face our fears, gain confidence, and triumph over it. It also tells us how to lead a simple and happy life. Next, to be or not to be, that is the question. From which play this famous line has come? This is a very interesting quotation. It is the opening phrase of a soliloquy given by Prince Hamlet in William Shakespeare's play Hamlet, Act 3, Scene 1. By this speech, Hamlet contemplates death and suicide, bemoaning the pain and unfairness of life, but acknowledging that the alternative might be worse. Next question. Who is known as the national poet of England? William Shakespeare. His plays have been translated into every major living language and are performed more often than those of any other playwright. So, he was called often England's national poet and the bird of Avon. Next question. What is the famous line of Shakespeare's play, As You Like It? This is very interesting. All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exists and their entrance, and one man in his time plays many parts. Act 2, Scene 7 of As You Like It. Next question. Who were the most influential poets in English literature? This is also a very interesting and important question. William Shakespeare, William Wordsworth, Walt Whitman, Percy Bysshe Shelley, Ezra Pound, John Keats, John Milton, William Blake, Edgar Allan Poe, T.S. Eliot. They influenced so many poets and writers in English literature. Besides, there are 3 influential poets also: Sappho, Alcaeus, and Anacreon. They invented lyrical poetry. Sappho was the first person to write deeply personal, reflective poems. Alcaeus wrote first the political poems. They also invented complex meters that poets in later times would experiment with, such as Ezra Pound. The King James's Bible is also influential, for it was the first collection of poetry written in free verse. The next question. From which play this famous line we get? Coward dies many times before their death. The valiant never taste of death but once. William Shakespeare's play Julius Caesar. By this line, Shakespeare meant to say that cowards often feel what it is like to die, while brave people only feel the fear of death when they are really about to die. The next question. What was the timeline of anglo-saxon period or Old English period? 410 AD to 1066 AD. Number 14. Next question. What types of people were in anglo-saxon period? In this period, the people were mainly warriors, hunters, and travelers. Number 15. And the last question. To whom the title, the Doctor of Church, was given? Saint Venerable Bede was the only native of Great Britain to achieve this designation. He was an author, teacher, and scholar. His most famous work, Ecclesiastical History of the English People, gained him the title, the Father of English History. This is all for the day, and I believe you all were there till the end of the class and have gone through it very well. Leave me with your comment if you liked the class. Share and refer it to your friends and known circles, those who have not yet joined with the channel. Meet you all on my next class. Till then, thank you.